This 68-year-old woman was arrested and jailed for 1 year for crimes committed by her son. She didn't do anything, however, she was the one paying for the crimes committed by her son. Let's delve into the very sad story of Madam Janet Kwate. The heartbreaking story of this particular woman was first made public by Crime Check Foundation, where the head of Crime Check Foundation, together with the team, visited this particular woman at the prison and then interviewed her, where she narrated her very sad ordeal as to how she ended up at the Insawam prison. You see, this woman you see on your screen, her name is Madam Janet Kwase. At the time when the story became public, it was in 2018, and at the time she was 68 years old. Madam Janet Kwate has about 4 or 5 children. Now, one of them was into something known as Connection Man, where he was doing American visa lottery for people. So you pay money to that particular guy, he does the American visa lottery for you, the registration and everything. If you are lucky, you get the visa and then move to America. So basically, the guy was a middleman, and the guy was one of the children of Madam Janet Kwate. So according to Madam Janet Kwate, one day a client of the son came home to give money to the son. However, the son wasn't present at home. So Madam Janet Kwate was the one present. And the guy who came to give the money to the son of Madam Janet Kwate decided to give the money to Madam Janet, so that this particular woman will keep the money. When the son returns, then she can give the money to the son and then inform the son that it's belong to this person, and the person said I should give it to you and you do this or that for me. So Madam Janet Kwate agreed and then received the money. She took the money from the guy. In total, the money was 10,000 Ghana cedis. So Madam Janet Kwate took this particular money, headed somewhere, waiting patiently for the son to return so she could give the money to the son and then inform the son where the money was coming from. So a while came, moments later, the son came back home. Now, this is what you should know. Before Madam Janet Kwate gave the money to the son, she made sure that the person who gave her the money was also around. I think the person was just closer. So Madam Janet Kwate told the son to call the guy to come, so that she would give the money to him in his presence. Maybe she didn't trust the son also. So Madam Janet Kwate gave this 10,000 Ghana cedis to the son in the presence of the one who brought the money initially. So the three of them were there when Madam Janet Kwate gave the money to the son. So everything was going on all right. But remember, the guy was a middleman doing American visa lottery for people. So I think the 10,000 Ghana cedi was for him to do the American visa lottery or prepare some visa for him. However, days came, weeks came, months came, and whatever he gave the money for was not being done. So he came back and then started asking about his money. At that particular time, the guy, Madam Janet Kwate's son, who received the money, has spent the money and didn't do the work for the guy, and so escaped. He ran from home. When Madam Janet Kwate's son ran from home, the owner of the money knew that at this point he needed to put more pressure in order to get back or retrieve his 10,000 Ghana cedis. So at that point, he went and reported the case to the police. When he reported the case to the police, something led to something, and then Madam Janet Kwate was arrested in place of the son who ran away with the money. That was what happened. And you can see Madam Janet Kwate's health condition was not good. Her health condition was bad, coupled with her age. Like, she was getting old, she was getting weak, and considering her body size with all that, she wasn't just healthy. So when she was arrested and then processed for trial at the court, Madam Janet wasn't even able to go to the court because of her health condition. It was one of Madam Janet Kwate's son, another one, not the one who took the money, another son known as Martin. It was Martin who was going to the court in place of Madam Janet. Remember, I think they took her because when the money came, she was the one who took it and then handed it over to the son. So maybe they were like, you spend the money with the son or something. Yeah. So Madam Janet Kwate couldn't go to court every day. Her health condition was bad. You can see, look at sores on her feet. Look at her feet. Look, she's walking with a stick. She couldn't walk. The woman was weak. Her health condition was not good. So for this reason, she wasn't able to be going to court all the time. The son, Martin, was going in her place to the court all the time. So what led Madam Janet to the prison, to the Nsawam prison? This is it. As the son Martin was going to the court in place of her, one day the son wasn't able to go to the court due to certain things. All the son could hear was that particular day, Madam Janet was forced to go to the court. And it was that same day that the sentencing was given. According to Madam Janet, when she was at court that particular day, they were just speaking. And due to the fact that she has no money, she was poor. She didn't have money. She couldn't even get a better legal representation. She didn't have a lawyer at the court. So, state lawyers don't usually put in effort. The prosecutor, the police, and the one who sends the case to the police were just talking to the judge, doing whatever they want. She didn't have a lawyer. She didn't know what was going on. She put up her hand and then told them that what you guys are saying, I didn't spend the money. The 10,000 Ghana cedi, the one who brought it to the police station, the one who has brought this case to the court and police station, was present when I gave the money to my son. And it is my son who has run away with the money. And also, Madam Janet also said that my son said, I've called him and he said he has gone to Abidjan. He is going to work in order to get the money and come and repay the money back to you. So please, if you could drop this case, my son is working to come and repay your money. Me, I am innocent. I didn't touch your money. According to Madam Janet, while she was trying to explain her innocence and trying to vindicate herself from this particular issue, the judge was up there and the judge wasn't even paying attention to her. All she could see was that the judge was just writing or scribbling things. And the prosecutors were telling the judge that Madam Janet is lying. She took the money. She knows where the son is. Blah, blah, blah. So the case was now like Madam Janet doesn't know what to do. She doesn't have lawyers. So the judge finally looked up and then started giving her judgment. The judgment was very simple. Madam Janet was to pay 3,600 Ghana cedi fine. Yes, 3,600 Ghana cedi fine. And if she's not able to pay the 3,600 Ghana cedi fine, then she's to be sent to the Nsawam prison where she's going to spend 1 year. So she either pay 3,600 Ghana cedi fine or she goes to prison and then spend 1 year. Now, when they asked Madam Janet exactly what her charge was, why she was sent to court, why she was arrested, why she was given a fine, why she was to serve a jail sentence if she's not able to pay the fine, Madam Janet said she thinks it was because she was the one who received the money and gave it to the son. Now, the money was 10,000 Ghana cedis. So if you are fining Madam Janet for that particular crime, she didn't do anything. Why are you fining her 3,600 Ghana cedi? And then secondly, Madam Janet might have been given that particular fine. Maybe the prosecutors, the police, and that particular guy who brought the case to the court was thinking that Madam Janet was obstructing with justice by interfering with their investigation because probably she knows where the son is and she's not telling them, or she also spends their money. The case is very confusing. This is the saddest part of the story. When Madam Janet was first sent to prison, according to a prison officer who also spoke during the interview, the prison officer indicated that, you see, Madam Janet, her health condition was so bad that she couldn't even make it to the toilet or washroom on time. So sometimes she urinates on herself. Sometimes she poo on herself. That was how bad her health condition was. And she used to go to Nsawam, that terrible prison, and then serve 1 year. Yes, and she was there, as you can see her in the prison uniform. A 68-year-old woman whose health condition was bad. Now, if you listen to that particular interview, the woman couldn't even speak audibly. Her speech was being held by something, and then she was explaining. Her health was really very terrible. Now, the prison officer, this particular woman, a benevolent prison officer, a very good prison officer, called the family of Madam Janet because she took the children's number from Madam Janet. You remember the one who took the money had run him there, he was somewhere. So he called them. That particular one he called was Martin, the one who used to go to court in place of Madam Janet. And Martin was like, he is not aware of all this. All he could hear was that the mother has been sentenced to 1 year prison, or the mother should pay 3,600. And the thing is, even them, they don't have the money, so they were trying to put some money together to come and pay that particular fine and take their mother out of prison. So this particular prison officer, may God bless her. Now, at the time when she realized that sometimes Madam Janet urinates on herself, or sometimes Madam Janet poo on herself, she, together with other prison officers, brought monies together and then went and bought a full pack of diapers to help Madam Janet. They also instructed some of the prisoners around, the roommates, the inmates, to help Madam Janet anytime she wanted to go to the washroom. They should help her because she couldn't walk. She has a walking stick. She walks slowly. She has sores all over her feet and her thumb. Now, those sores were gotten because she fell on her way to the washroom. One time she kicked a gutter. The other time she fell down when she was at the washroom. Like, the woman was suffering. Now, when the prison officer told the children to come to the prison, and when they are coming, they should come with diapers because their mother need the diapers. Guess what? The four children of Madam Janet, when they were coming to the prison, they came with 2 pieces, not 2 taco, 2 pieces, like one used, throw away, another one used, throw away, 2 pieces of diapers. 2 pieces of diapers. That's what they came to the prison with. Can you imagine? I don't know the state of poverty these children were in, but it doesn't make sense that all 4 of you couldn't afford at least 1 packet of diapers. And then when they came, they visited the mother, they went back. Later, the youngest daughter of Madam Janet called the prison officer to inform her that they are putting the money together. They found some amount. They are still looking to complete the amount to come and pay so that the mother could be released. So at that point, Crime Check Foundation had no other option than to appeal to the general public to contribute some amount of money in order to raise that 3,600 Ghana cedi, or probably more, to save Madam Janet from this particular terrible condition in the prison, and also probably put that money together to help her treat herself, because this particular woman did not deserve to be in prison. Because first of all, she didn't commit any crime, yet she was sentenced to 1 year in prison just because she couldn't afford a fine of 3,600. Why was she even fined? She didn't do anything. It was her son that spent somebody's money or escaped with somebody's money. Why are you arresting her? You have no evidence that she knows where the son is, and because she couldn't afford a lawyer, and looking at her health condition, at least Ghana, the justice service in Ghana is crooked. Like, it's not favorable, it's not fair, it's questionable, it needs changes, it needs amendment. In other countries, when people commit lesser crimes, those particular people could be given alternative sentences like community work, clean the community, do something in the community, house arrest, like all those things. But this particular woman, on top of all the suffering she's going through, her terrible and deteriorating health condition, was asked to go to Nsawam prison. Do you know how terrible Nsawam prison is? Just Google it and see how terrible the prison is. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ridwan ADS. Please go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much for your attention. More of these stories will be on the way.